Hey guys, so welcome to my first video. We're gonna go over like how I did this commission for this orc knight kind of character. What I'm gonna do is I will show you my process for how I did it, and what I got details of like his skin color, his armor, his fur, the coat and stuff, and I got details about like his great sword, his and like the essence of the character. So he's like a type of warrior orc that like saves these people, and the general look I kind of wanted to go for with this is a strong, intimidating hero that you've kind of approached him when you shouldn't, like a naive character. That might be your viewpoint. And I just kind of wanted to look intimidating a bit. So that's what I went with. You see, in here I got some of my sketches that I had shown to him to see like which is good and which isn't. And he, thought it looks a bit too evil. It's not that the character is evil in itself. He's an orc character, but he's meant to be more of a hero type. But I did want to put in a bit of intimidation into it too. And so and then I refined the axe as well. I wanted the design to change a bit. It's an axe handle, and that was important, though I wanted it to seem functional too. So I did a bit of research, and what I kind of went with was a U shape for his guard, kind of UC shape. URC shape, and that allows it so when he's swinging a sword, it's not gonna kind of dig into his hand. Happy with how it looks, so I went with that, and he liked that too. So that was all good. So now onto the sketch. What I find the most important here in this kind of like sketchy design phase is to break everything down into 3D volumes as cylinders and spheres to really grasp the 3D dimensions of them, and it makes it easier to draw stuff from imagination and map stuff like armor and clothes onto the actual character itself. And it also makes it easier to imagine how it would be shaded depending on where the light source is. And in a bit now you'll see I'll skew the actual line art there, which is also on a separate layer to the actual sketch phase. And I'll try to sort of match the perspective that is going for the reference that I have in Magic Poser. Would have been better if I had done a perspective grid for this. It would be way easier, a little bit of extra time to do, but overall way easier rather than having this perfectionism and trying to get it right and only knowing that it kind of feels off. So yeah, definitely use your perspective grids. They seem important, but they're boring, but important nonetheless. Yeah. What you'll see is what I'm gonna do. I'm working out the 3D volume as well of the sword into like a kind of cuboid, like a rectangular kind of shape, and then using straight lines to make the sword. It makes the sword make more sense or look more mechanical like it is, and have little edge chips and stuff to make it like look used. Onto the line art. Let's start doing so important here. Again, on a new layer, reduce the opacity so you can actually see what you're drawing on. But use confident lines. Use the undo button, Control Z. Take your time with it, but be confident in your lines. It tends to just look way better. If you want it to look very sketchy later, you can do that first and then add some more details to your line art, making it like a bit more rough in areas. But on his face, you see I'll have a lot of scars in there because he's a warrior, and I want to make him look like he's actually in the battles, life or death type of battles, where you've got these deep scars in his head, and it shows like that he's been close to death sometimes, and there's one above his eye. I like that because it kind of shows that he almost lost his eye but didn't. Somehow kept his eye, and it's just a little cut on the ear too, but have it like cut into the skull as well. It makes it seem a bit more believable. But now onto the shading. What you want to do here is what I'm doing is I'm shading it in black and white to get the volumes and the values correct. And so you have a light source, make sure you know where your light source is coming from. Just decide if you're coming from imagination. I put it up in the top left corner, but I use a soft brush and the selection tool here, and there's 100% opacity with the armor. It does make it look more shiny. I didn't realize it didn't change the opacity though. Yeah, it's important to use your values correctly here. Use all the range, but at the right moments. And here in the skull is kind of like a cube, sphere shape, and everything that's being blocked by the light, like under in the eye sockets at the side of the head, that would be darker. And the very deep, like it's parts in between each plate of armor, in between the lips, they can be the darkest areas, and you would use your darkest values for that. Now, onto gradient maps, where you see me working on it in a second. But gradient maps are kind of cool because now once you've shaded it in black and white, and you've got the general values correct, or hopefully, and the volumes correct, it makes it easier as well. You can go in with gradient maps, use the selection tool, and find them, make a mask of that area, add the gradient map to that the selection area. It'll make a mask and a gradient map on top of the mask, and you can assign the different colors to different values in that scale from darkest to all the way lightest, and it allows you to convert all your values into the corresponding colors as if you had done it first time, those colors, in a sort of basic kind of way. And it saves a lot of time, especially if you have to make some changes, which I did later as well. But yeah, it's kind of cool. And ideally you would do this, maybe flatten the layer and do more adjustments and do highlight areas. But yeah, you see, I'm gonna tweak this in a second. The coat is the wrong color. The guy who commissioned it, I sent it to him, and he said he just kind of rather the coat to be more yellow tone, and because I had grading maps, I was able to do that rather easily, and I honestly think it looks better as well. So I looked up some references for the fur coat and sort of more traditional style, and was working out how to do this. This is kind of difficult, it's time consuming, so I was trying to find ways to quickly do it, and I think the top area looks the best. I was trying different tools, different types of brushes to try to do it quickly. It wasn't quite working out, so what I did instead was I shaded in the kind of dark area that you wouldn't really see to kind of skip that part, and individually did all the rest of the part. Quite time consuming and definitely not the best way to do it, but that's just what I did that time. Yeah, that's kind of all of my process. So this art piece took about 20 hours to complete. It's quite long, so it'll take me about a month to finish, but I hope you enjoyed this video that I did, my first voiceover, and I hope it wasn't too bad. So with that, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the video while it plays out. Not much else to say. Till the next time I'll upload. Hopefully it's soon. See you next time.